Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craftably Ever After and welcome to another video. Now, for those of you who have joined the channel recently, just a short little intro. I live in Copenhagen in Denmark with my husband and my kids. We are originally from South Africa. We moved here in 2020 and my channel is basically all about crochet, primarily amigurumi. Amigurumi is my first love. I have been crocheting for about 11 or 12 years now, and just toy making is my big passion. I do work full-time, so crochet is just a hobby for me and I am loving it. To those of you who've been with me from the beginning, welcome back. Always love hanging out with you guys, as I keep saying every week when I make these videos. Now, this week might feel like a bit of deja vu again. I don't have a lot of new things to show you, but let me jump straight into what I have been busy with this week and an idea that I've got brewing that I am going to need your help with. But we will get to that when I've showed you what I've been working on. First thing, I made another bunny. Now, you would have seen this bunny in a little short, or I posted a short on YouTube and a reel on Instagram. You would have seen it there. I mean, I'm working on my bunny pattern. As you guys know, it's with my lovely tester group at the moment. Should have the pattern ready and available in my Etsy and Ravelry stores next weekend. Today is I can never remember what it is. It's the 9th of March 2025, Sunday. So sometime during next weekend, the pattern should be available. I've received almost all of the feedback from the majority of my testers. The bunnies turned out beautiful. Of course, I had to do another bunny, and it was just because I had yarn lying around. I'm assuming it's cotton. It feels like cotton. I got it in a crochet kit a while back. When I opened the crochet kit, the pattern was in French, which I didn't notice at all when I bought it. So I just chucked that in the bin and I kept the yarn. It's been several months now. And I found the yarn and I thought, well, I like the colors. Let me make another bunny. So as people respond back from testing the pattern, I incorporate the comments, and then I thought, well, let me work through the pattern once again. I love this pattern. It is this bunny pattern. Now, the upright ears is actually just a little modification I have in the pattern. The pattern actually includes a very cute little cat ear beanie and a different type of scarf. Now, I will tell you something about this scarf and this little headband in just a moment, but I had the yarn that I've now referred to that I got from a kit was this very nice mustard color and the white. So I thought, well, I think I will make a semi-spring bunny. Now, recently the weather in Copenhagen has been really nice. We've seen a lot of sunshine, which is very rare for this country. So we've had a lot of sunshine. It's been beautiful days. But next week, believe it or not, they have predicted more snow. So this is what spring in Copenhagen represents for me. You still have to dress really warmly because the weather is extremely unpredictable. But this little scarf is not actually the one that you get in the pattern. You just get a regular long straight scarf. But this I will include in a pattern pack that I am working on. Now, I found that making accessories for amigurumi is actually quite difficult. So my pattern is written up, people are testing it, it's coming out brilliantly. But I'm trying to include little little bags and things for the bunnies. So you guys that have seen when I showed the bunnies originally, you know I made these little bags. So I made a market bag. I made these teeny tiny little carrots that goes in the market bag. Then I also made like a little crossbody what do you call it, like a granny square bag, and I'm trying to write up the patterns for these. So I did make 2 more to try and figure out what I did with the first ones, because I knew I was not going to include the bags in the pattern. The bags were just for myself, to keep myself busy, because I still have severe pattern indecision. I cannot decide what to make. And whenever I can't decide what to make, or I don't want to work from a pattern, I sort of create my own thing. But I did try and write up patterns for like the little granny square bag and this teeny tiny little market bag, which looks like it's got a bit of a more mesh type pattern. But it's so difficult. Like, as it is, writing a pattern is fairly difficult for me. But because I've written a few patterns now, I'm getting used to how amigurumi should look. And there's, amigurumi is not actually difficult. 99.9% of amigurumi consists of single crochet and then a decrease and an increase. So this entire bunny, now not this, well, actually even this, no, the scarf I did in half doubles, but the entire bunny from start to finish consists of single crochets, increases and decreases. That's it. Amigurumi is not difficult. But writing a pattern that consists of something other than just increases, decreases and single crochets is really, really difficult for me. So, and as I always say, I have the greatest respect. I don't care what people design. Designing patterns, and especially people who do clothing. I mean, clothing is even more difficult. This is why in the majority of cases, if I do clothing on an amigurumi, it will be crocheted on. So it's very rare that I think my Swim Time Sammy maybe is the only pattern so far that's got removable pants, because designing clothing, and I can just imagine doing human-sized clothing, must be really difficult. And I have great respect for people doing anything human-sized because amigurumi is difficult. But anyway, so I'm working on a little pattern pack. So my bunny pattern will be a paid pattern on Etsy and Ravelry, but I am hoping to include on my blog for free a little accessories pack, which will have this like smaller scarf, which got these little triangle ends, a little headband, and then I've got the carrots, I've got the little bags. I even did, but I don't know, I didn't even bring it. I've designed, well, it's not difficult, a little pumpkin. I mean, there's a million small pumpkin patterns out there, but there's even going to be a little pumpkin, definitely the carrots. I will see if I add anything else in there as well. But this was the first thing I did, and it is purely because I couldn't decide on a pattern to make. So that is yet another bunny. The next thing I did is something I sort of have to do. So it has taken me a bit longer than I usually would, and it has to do with my Katie Koala pattern. Now, you would have seen this cute girl in the beginning of the year for the Made in Australia Cal that was hosted by Litsa and Jenny and a few other ladies here on YouTube. So I made Katie the koala, but in the back of my mind, I was sort of, I'm always working on designs for things. Now, she's obviously a summer, she's got a summer vibe. And the reason I'm taking so long with this pattern is because I'm actually designing it again for Crochet Now magazine. So anyone who receives or whoever gets the Crochet Now magazine, Katie Koala, with this is a different version, with this little flamingo floaty, she will be in the June issue of Crochet Now magazine again. So what has happened, I received the yarn because I have to make for the magazine. So the photo that you see in the magazine is actually the sample that I crochet. So they don't have anyone else crocheting it, or all of the patterns in the magazine. Whatever you see in the magazine, the designer of the pattern makes that project and they send it to Crochet Now. So anything you see, like if you see my koala in the June issue, it will be the one that I actually crocheted. And it will be one of these two, because I have not fully decided. I think I've decided on this one. Let me just take the floaty off, because what happened is usually once or when I received the commissions to do the pattern, like with my bear and reindeer pattern I did last year, I get an email to say that they commissioned me for the pattern, and these are the colors they recommend, because I have to use a specific yarn that's easily accessible in the UK, because Crochet Now is a UK magazine. And because all of my patterns are always done with 100% cotton, I work with Rikorumi DK. Love that yarn. I absolutely love it. It's not easily accessible for me here in Denmark. I work with Rainbow Cotton and Friends Cotton 86 that I get from Hobby. That's actually a sport weight yarn, but a similar thickness as the Rikorumi DK. So a week or two ago, I received my yarn from Rikorumi. Here's my little pack, because I will show you my yarn now. So it's teeny tiny little 25 gram skeins. This is more or less the size. I've used a little bit of the pink. But I got my yarn, but this time, instead of the magazine telling me which colors I should use, they said, well, I'm going to have to make it in Rikorumi DK, but I can choose my own colors. And that freaked me out completely, because in the past it's very nice if they say, okay, you use this, this and this, we will send you the colors to make your sample with. Now I had to decide which ones I wanted to make, and my version that I did in the rainbow cotton, I couldn't find the same color in the Rikorumi. So my original version, which is not this one. These two are made with the Rikorumi yarns. But my version did have the pink stripe, or the light pink, but it had more of a turquoise. Now this color, this blue color, in Rikorumi is actually called turquoise. And this green is called light mint or mint green or something like that. But they didn't have the teal, the dark teal color that I had in rainbow cotton. So I ordered the colors, which I actually ordered in the end 2 colors to try out for the teal. Now originally when the colors came, here you can see this is the little color scheme, and the black, which is just for the accents. I have this really nice gray. Now I can't even tell you what all the colors are, because I have to remove these little bands to be able to work with the skeins, because it's impossible to get a center pull from these little mini balls of yarn. But when the yarn came, I asked my husband, and we actually decided originally on these colors. So the sort of mint and pink for the bunny's little swimsuit, and then obviously the very dark pink for the flamingo floaty. But when I worked it up, the pink almost completely disappears, the stripe on the top. So I made this entire one. So I finished up my sample, and I thought I was done, and I put everything together and it was too pale. I couldn't, I mean, if I bring it up close you can see it, but imagine now this in a magazine where she's taken, the photo will be taken from a bit further away. You can't even see the stripes. So I told my husband, okay, I had enough yarn left of the grey. I can definitely fit another one in. So I had 3 little skeins of this grey. And as I say, a skein is 25 grams. So with 3 skeins of the grey and 1 skein each of the contrasting colours, I could make 2 full koalas, and I have still a bunch of yarn left. So I thought, okay, let me try and replace the mint with this blue, which is actually called turquoise. And this, what you see in the screen, is very, very true to the color. It might be a tiny bit darker in real life, but this is very close to the real life color. So it doesn't look like turquoise to me. My husband says it looks exactly like turquoise. But I like this one more because you can actually now see the stripes. So I would love to get your guys' opinion on my koala. Which color would you pick? Because I really like this one, and I've sort of almost settled on this one. My husband still prefers the mint, but I don't know. It's so strange because I couldn't get the correct color. So I'm deciding, and then you've got to take into account, you know, the dark pink of the flamingo floaty, because obviously that finishes off the look. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with this one. But I would love to hear your guys' opinion because, I mean, you guys are wonderful and you always have wonderful suggestions. So there we go. This is my pick only, and it's purely because the stripes are more visible. It's not that I specifically prefer the turquoise, because I really like the mint and the pink together. I really like it. This was my original thought when I just got the yarn, but this one is just more visible. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. So there we have it, my little Katie koala pattern. So I know a lot of you guys have asked, you know, in the comments, when is the pattern coming out? But it will not be on my stores. It will be in Crochet Now in June. So not long to go now. I'm super excited. So one of these girls will be heading off to the UK within the next couple of weeks. All right. The last thing I did, and this actually I made this morning, and it's because I felt, you know, this morning I was sitting watching, you know, catching up on some YouTube videos, and I thought, well, I don't actually have anything new to show you, because the koala you've seen multiple times, the bunny you've seen at least in the last 3 videos now. And something I've seen on Pinterest, and I think it has to do with a lot of people also doing doll houses and cute little small projects. And I have this doll house. Not that I want to get a doll house, believe it or not. I would love to get a doll house. We just don't have space, so I'm not getting one. But a couple of years back, like 2 years back, I had this mini obsession with animals or amigurumi in tins, or amigurumi in little suitcases. So you have this little suitcase, it opens up, it's like a little bedroom or a little room. It doesn't have to be a bedroom specifically, but a little room with a bunch of accessories for an amigurumi. And I thought this morning, this is what I want to do. But this is where I also need help from you guys, because I want to maybe consider making this into almost like an advent calendar. So I want to make it as a free pattern, but then with one accessory being available every day that you make for this toy. So I don't know if I want to do it in July for Christmas in July. I don't really participate in Christmas in July, but I like to start making things for Christmas from the middle of the year onwards. So I thought this might be a very nice, almost like a crochet along, where we have like a base pattern and we do little accessories every day. But I cannot think of like a bunch of accessories. I can think of a few, but I would like to know what you would put. And okay, let me just start at the beginning, because I'm rambling and you guys are probably thinking, Cassandra, I don't know what you are saying. Anyway, I designed, well, it's like a modification of a design already. I made this cute little bear this morning. It's basically my Buddy Bear 2.0, but he's longer. But he's still small. As you can see, It's a very nice handheld size. I made it in rainbow cotton or Friends Cotton 86, which is a sport weight yarn, and I use a 2.5 millimeter hook. So it's a basic bear pattern. Now it doesn't have a tail because I'm thinking that some of the accessories would be clothing. So not accessories, but he would have like maybe little pants or a little jacket, a little vest, a scarf, a hat, little boots. But I mean, that's only like 5 things. And if I want to do something over a couple of weeks or like a month, I need some more accessories. And I want it to fit into a little suitcase or box, shoe box, whatever. But something like this. Now this is actually the box. It's like a little suitcase. It's from a crochet kit I bought here in Denmark a few years ago. So it's one of those little suitcase things. You get it in most, you can get it in toy shops, craft shops, online. But I want to make a little room like this. So it'll probably be like a bedroom. But it could include accessories that you can take out to set up a little scene. So I want to make like a little blanket, a pillow, maybe some food, like a little cup with coffee or tea in it, some cookies or a cake or a hot dog or a burger, or I don't know. I want to think of cute accessories that will go with a little bear like this into a container. Like, as I say, a shoebox, a little mini suitcase. I mean, there's loads of these types. I'm not inventing anything new. You can go onto Pinterest and type in toy in a box and you will see a million pins pop up. So it's not something that's new. But I want to design something with the help from all of you on what we can do that would be fun to sort of do together every day as a type of crochet along. And in the end, you know, many of us have got kids, or you've got grandkids, or you are making it for future grandkids, like would be in my case, like very far in the future because my kids are still in school. But to make something cute with a few accessories that will be cute for someone small to play with. Like, I don't know, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I'm going to write up this little pattern. As I say, it's basically just a modification on Buddy Bear 2.0. For those of you that's new, Buddy Bear is a free pattern I've got on my blog. I will link it in the description box. But I want to write up this one. And this is why it's a bit longer. Because you need a slightly larger toy if you want to design something like clothing for it. So, you know, to have little pants maybe, or a dress. I mean, whatever we want to put on this bear. Maybe a few different clothing items. Something that's not too difficult, because as I mentioned, clothing and accessories are extremely difficult to design. So it might end up being, well, I want to bring it out as a written pattern. But let me know what would be easy and cute accessories to make for a little bear. And the reason I made it this small, because even if you make it in a worsted weight yarn, because I know a lot of people prefer working with a 4-weight or a worsted weight yarn. A lot of us like working with sport weight or DK. So a little bear, even if you do it in worsted, it will still be a fairly small bear, because it needs to fit in a small type of little room. So I want to create like a mini room, and it doesn't have to be a bedroom, but I'm thinking it'll probably be a bedroom, because it's easy to crochet a blanket and some pillows and a little mattress, and I mean, there's so many things to make. So pop some suggestions in the description box below of what would be like super fun accessories to make for a tiny bear that will fit into a little suitcase or shoebox I know you guys are full of ideas. And this is why I love hanging out in this community, because you guys inspire me. You give me a lot of my ideas. I don't come up with the majority of this stuff on my own. I always have brilliant suggestions from you guys. And this is why I'm not doing a crochet along without your inputs. So let me know what you think of this idea, if you'd be game to join in. As I say, I'm definitely going to make this some sort of a free pattern, free crochet along. I will see how it goes and how much time it's going to take. Because I do work full time. So I'm going to have to try and squeeze this in over weekends or evenings while I'm making other things, because I don't want to just design. So even though I'm in a severe pattern reading, pattern finding funk, I just cannot be bothered to read a pattern at the moment. And this is why I'm going to keep on designing cute small toys, because the moment I cannot decide what to make, I design something. So this is already March and I am already on my third design for the year. So yeah, this is probably what my entire year is going to be. But it's fun. You guys are fantastic supporters. You guys always jump in and join in whenever I have some other crazy idea going on. All right, friends, that is it. So not a ton of stuff I could show you. But again, let me know which color you prefer, the mint, the turquoise, and then let me know your ideas for accessories. All right, friends, that's it for this week. Thank you for hanging out with me again. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. I love chatting to you guys every week. Well, I'm doing less chatting in the comments these days, more chatting on the video. You guys, I cannot get to the comments and I'm so sorry. Please know that I read everyone and every single comment brings me joy. You guys are wonderful. Keep them coming, even though I'm terrible at replying to your comments these days. I still love receiving it. I love that there's always interaction in the comments between you guys. I think that's probably my favorite part. But anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. I hope you are ready for the week ahead. And as always, you guys, until I see you in the next video, stay safe and stay crafty.